Our next presenter is the brother of our next inductee and also a Nashoba grad. Pretty good basketball player back in the day. Probably could still go out there and bang a three if necessary, I would assume. Or maybe not. Well, when you see him up here, you can make that decision. Gary Kaczewski to make our next presentation.
First legal beer with Greg Hill back in the day. No code of conduct violated at any point in it. Like Robert, I'd first like to congratulate all the Nashoba inductees. Very well deserved by all. Coach Barry intimidated the heck out of me back in the day. You know, you play hard as an athlete, but you see his intensity and you realize you got to take it up a notch to compete. Amy Richard, my younger sister, she had a little bit of a tough time growing up at school. It was always, Gary, is that your brother? Is Gary your brother? But she got tired of hearing it after a while as her Nashoba career progressed and started changing to people coming up to me going, is that your sister? I didn't know Amy was your sister. She's very smart, a great mother, and also has a great sense of humor. Publicly growing up, she was a little shy, but I think Nashoba Athletics helped her grow out of that as she became a more outgoing student athlete. Amy played 4 years of field hockey, basketball, and track at Nashoba. In track, she ran the 100, anchored the 4x110 relay, the 200, and the long jump. She qualified for states all 4 years in the 100 and in the 4x110 relay. She also has an uncanny 30-year streak of second place finishes in the Kaczewski family 50-yard dash. You knew I had to get that one in. In basketball, she developed into a Mid-Wachusett League All-Star her senior year. She had a very good all-around game. She was a very good shooter. She had this Dennis Johnson type of shot, but it was a line drive right at the basket. I don't know how she did it, but she did it, and it worked. But my sister overall made her name mostly in field hockey. Partial credit goes to my mother Doris, who also excelled in field hockey in Nashoba. She was the one who steered her in the direction of field hockey back in the day when most of the girls were playing, probably still do today, soccer. My sophomore year, Amy was starting. She became a 3-time All-Star in field hockey. Senior year, she set single season scoring records by having 30 of the team's 47 goals during the regular season. She was just too skilled and too fast as she led Nashoba to a 14-3-1 record. She won MVP honors that year and also established career goals with 50 and .75 that I believe still stand today. Remarkably, she had 85% of the team's scoring that year and had 14 game-winning goals or assists out of the 15 wins they had, including the playoffs. After high school, she transferred to Pittsburgh State her sophomore year and decided to play a little more field hockey. Junior and senior year, she moved up to the forward lines and started scoring more goals. Senior year, she had 23 goals, 14 assists for 60 points. She was named Pittsburgh State's field hockey MVP in '93, and also she was awarded the 1994 Pittsburgh State College Athlete of the Year. She finished her career with 36 goals, 33 assists, 105 points, all records at the time, and she still holds a career and single season assist record and single season points at Pittsburgh State. Her career scoring goal mark lasted 18 years and was just passed last fall, which got her a little angry. Her sister and I were trying to figure out if she still had NCAA eligibility left at age 38, 2 to 3 years. I would have liked to see the comeback, because I knew she could do it. But you just take solace in the fact that she played 4 years and you only played 2, so I'm still giving it to you. And later this fall, and I may have to do this again, she's getting inducted into the Pittsburgh State, well actually it's Pittsburgh College now, Hall of Fame. So I think she's having a pretty good year. Finally, she isn't a bad golfer either. My dad, gotta get this one in too, 1974 club champion international. Started the game, and here's my favorite sports story ever. I wasn't a witness to it, but I heard it firsthand. She had a little trouble one day at Oak Hill on the 17th hole. She was in the bunker. Probably took her 2 or 3 shots. She got a little bit mad afterwards. As she was walking out of the bunker, she took the sand wedge and snapped it right over her leg. A little temper in there every now and then. I don't know where she does that from. It's just funny, because she's very quiet and shy, but just can be a little competitive sometimes. But not something to teach youngsters out there, but it cracked me up. She's a quieter type of them. With that said, I'll be proudly introducing you to my sister, Amy Richard. Thank you.
I'll keep this short, Greg, because I know you want to watch the US Open. I would like to thank the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for this honor. Participating in sports was a very important part of my high school experience. I was very fortunate to have many great teammates and fine coaches throughout my years. Mrs. Shirley Stott Ingalls was my field hockey coach. She was always very positive, encouraging, and well respected by others. Mr. Dennis Bean was my basketball coach. He always made the practices and games lots of fun and interesting while still teaching us all the fundamentals of the game. And Mr. Bob Calley, who was my track and field coach and my accounting teacher also. He helped instill the value of hard work and discipline, and as a result, we were a very successful track team. I'd also like to thank my family for encouraging my involvement in sports. My brother Gary, especially, for motivating me to excel. We were very competitive throughout our years, and as you can tell by his speech, also now. And just for the record, the Nashoba Regional Hall of Fame inductions, Amy 1, Gary 0. Those 50-yard dashes was when I was pregnant with my 3 kids. I'd also like to thank my mom and dad. They are very supportive parents who are always very helpful, positive, and cheer me on through all my games. So thank you very much. It is truly an honor. Thank you.
All right, making our final presentation of the evening is a Nashoba graduate, a current teacher, and a coach in the district. He and I spent a marvelous week together as chaperones of the 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C. exactly 1 year ago, and it was an awful lot of fun down there for a full week with the 8th graders. It's my pleasure to introduce Jamie Tucker.